your experience from your videos you talk about is from, you live in Bismarck. You lived there before you moved to Arizona.
Born and raised, yep.
What is it, you talked about house parties. Where did a lot of the experience come from?
So I have an interesting story with that. So when I was younger, my parents got a divorce, and my family, we had some shops.
Yeah.
So sometimes if there was a vacant shop, I would go and I'd throw a party, or a lot of times post-divorce, when my parents would go out of town,
yeah,
I would sometimes take the empty house and I'd throw house parties. So that's the whole environment that I come from, was like house parties, having 100+ people in one spot, it being all over the place. And I think you really get to see a lot of people act in their state of how attraction is naturally when you have an environment like that. I learned a lot of that very like organically. North Dakota, this obviously isn't good, but I believe this statistic is true. I mean, don't quote me on it. I'm not 100%, but from what I've heard, like North Dakota also has very high rates of binge drinking.
Yeah. I believe that.
They're party towns.
Yes.
You know, University of North Dakota is in Grand Forks.
Yeah.
Everyone would watch hockey and drink. I had friends who were D1. I had friends who were D1 hockey players. One of them went on to go and, you know, play professional hockey. I was friends with guys in fraternities. You know, even like when I was younger, so when I was building my fitness business, I drove up to University of North Dakota for a semester, and I had friends who were going to college there. And then what I would actually do is I lived at their house for a semester, and I would just work on my business while they would go to college, but I was in that whole scene.
Yeah.
Right? So that's kind of how I started to see this for what it is. And yeah, house party game, just having a connection of friends who in some way, shape, or form are popular a little bit, so you can see who women are responding to.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I did it.
That was exactly what I want to say. My next point. So I managed a strip club from 22 to 26, and when I was there, one of the things, it wasn't just like my game with the girls, it was which guys the girls responded to. Because remember, these girls are getting paid money for their attention, and there's a couple of guys who they're giving their attention to who aren't paying them any money.
Right.
And I always like tried to see what those guys all had in common.
Yeah.
And this is the first point where I got this red pilled, where I kind of understood that what Disney and the church and my family was telling me wasn't accurate.
Yeah.
So that was the first part. And then later on, I worked with some nightlife promoters in Atlanta for like a year and a half. And I would listen to pickup artists say one thing, and then I would watch these guys show up to clubs with 70 girls. And I was like, okay, there's something they're doing that makes sense here. And then what you're saying, so it's almost like becoming an NFL scout, where before you even get good at game, you start seeing this guy has good game and this guy does not have good game, and you start to see what these commonalities are. And this is what you probably saw with your friends.
Yeah, completely. And another thing too is like, I think the easiest, most simple way for guys to understand this and realize this, especially if you're from like a smaller town or something, or anybody watching this across anywhere in the world right now will probably understand this. When you're in high school, right, the star quarterback gets the girls, right, or all the girls want him. That same popularity contest does not exit once high school is over. It's still the same way in real life. It's still the same way as an adult. The popularity contest changes a bit, and maybe it is a club environment, maybe it's corporate status, maybe it's status with these friends, but it does not change and it doesn't go away.
Yeah.
The game just gets a little bit bigger because now you're on a global scale, but it's the same. It's the same thing.
So
click the link in the description and I'll send you my high status networking playbook for free, so you can start meeting high quality women today.